such a joy to be part of the NCIIA annual conference each year. To see how this program has evolved over the past 15 years, it's, I think, really a testament to how innovative Phil is as a leader, but also how innovative this community is, because it seems every time we get back together, we see the new developments at NCIIA, the new courses or programs or efforts that are being made to really increase the effectiveness of student technological innovation and entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to say a few words about the Lemelson Foundation. I know some of you are familiar with the foundation, so I won't speak too long, but Jerome Lemelson is the founder of the Lemelson Foundation, and I don't know how many of you know about him as an individual, but he is one of the most prolific inventors in US history, with over 600 patents in a range of disciplines, from barcode scanning technology to automated warehouse manufacturing systems, to machine vision technologies, a lot of the core components of the fax machine or the camcorder, the Sony Walkman, ATM machines, and many, many toy inventions as well. And his, at one point in his life, he said that one of his proudest inventions was actually the E-team, this idea of an interdisciplinary team of students coming together to innovate a new technology. And as some of you may know, this idea of the E-team came out of his experience with the World War II Inventors Council, where he saw the power of inventors coming together to solve pressing war challenges under a time-constrained context. And he thought, you know, why aren't we as a country really tapping into the inventive capacity of students and faculty at universities throughout America to really drive technological innovation to solve pressing challenges that we face as a society. So that was, you know, the original vision of NCIIA, and 15 years later, 16 years later now, it's just remarkable, I think, to see the extent of colleges and universities engaged in this program, the level of faculty engagement. So many faculty have been engaged with this program for years and years, and what we're starting to see, I think, is the institutionalization of so much of this programming. We had the opportunity to meet with a few E-teams yesterday, which was really a joy. A number of the directors of the Lemelson Foundation, the board of directors, as well as a number of the staff, and we talked with 3 E-teams who are at different stages of development, some of which who are no longer E-teams but are running their own companies now. And I think, you know, one thing that came out was how important the context is for their technological innovation, that they're within the university. The fact that NCIIA, in addition to funding E-teams, has really funded courses and programs and faculty who create that institutional infrastructure and support network for these student teams, how essential that is. One previous E-team winner said, you know, the best education is actually doing it, and he, being at Brown, really benefited from a course that was funded by NCIIA called Build Your Own Company. He was an engineer by training and would not have necessarily had the same proclivity to figure out how to run a company without having taken this course. But this course really allowed him to take his technological innovation ideas later and develop a company that is now quite effective. They've raised significant venture capital, and they're moving on to significant sales of their technology. So to tie back to the foundation and what we're doing more broadly, we really believe that this whole innovation engine that NCIIA is supporting and nurturing through students in this country is something that we want to broaden and deepen within the United States, but globally. So the foundation has done a lot of work with its other programs to think about reaching children at earlier stages. So the Lemelson MIT program is one example. There are a number of staff from that program here who have started reaching back to the high school level and even the grade school level, thinking about how do we provide young people with these experiences early on that really put them in this pipeline of recognizing their own inventive capacity and believing in themselves that they could determine their own futures by designing technologies and establishing entrepreneurial ventures. So they are working on invent teams as one example in high schools, where teams of high school students and a mentor develop solutions to local community challenges. We're also focusing a bit now over the last few years on underserved minorities in the United States, and recognizing that in many cases girls and underserved minorities are not getting into this kind of invention pipeline, and how do we work effectively to change that in the society. So we've been working, for example, with WGBH in Boston to explore different mentoring models, really, that will help by matching, say, a child from a particular ethnic background with an engineering mentor from college, and then maybe a professional engineering mentor of the same ethnicity, and structuring programs in that way increase the interest as well as the stick-to-itiveness of minorities in engineering.